Okay, so what we were discussing here is yesterday actually we were discussing that what's the dependencies and all, right? We want to go on to Maven. That's why actually we want to see like what's the dependencies and all. So in this program actually I told that MySQL connector and Log4j, how we are using that one. So if we don't have a proper tools, right? Yesterday we were struggling actually how to execute this one. Uh, Training.mysql, right? I'm just actually using it logger.debug. Let's see actually how it will execute it here. Right? So it is executed, and the output actually you can see it in the log4j configuration. Through log4j actually I said that it will come in the log.output, so that actually you have a trace for all the previous executions, when it is executed, what it is executed and all. You can see it. It also prints so many things actually. It's uh, the class file name, it's a line number, where it is coming from, etc. Actually line number 12 is what actually being printed. If you notice actually it's coming from line number 12. So in the line number 12 we are printing am in main method. So suppose actually you are not running this in the IDE. How you will run this one? First you need to know this one, how you will run this program, a sample program. Just we have actually only one program. How you will run this one? If you don't yeah, how you will run it if you don't have IDE. Suppose you are running in somewhere, anywhere actually, in a server or anywhere actually, there is no IDE. So you want to run that one. So basically you need to use command line tools there. Obviously you need to be hands-on on the command line tools as well. So it actually, to compile the programs we use Java C, and to run the program we use Java. This is what actually we did in the very beginning. Actually we did exercise to this one, because it's that's a foundation. I though actually some people were asking like, let's jump onto IDE. I was insisting to go on the Java C and Java commands only, right? That's because actually you know it actually. That's at least what is Java C, what is Java, you know it. uh, in anywhere actually you will be using these commands only. If you want to run in the production server, you will be using the command line tools. So first actually try to compile this one. In order to compile this one, right? No, let me delete this bin. So this is what actually generally source file is the only one actually where you will specify it in anywhere actually. And you are telling that okay, it's also needed a library called in IDE. Actually you went here and you are specifying it yesterday. Actually what we did, we are specifying that it needs a library called log4j. Log4j library it needed. So that's why actually it is getting compiled. We gave the log a class path for the log4j file library as well. Now if I compile this one, Java C, where it is, src main Java training jar test my jar, it obviously throws some errors that okay, this is not found, log4j is not found, because there is no class actually attached to this one. In order to attach that library, what we do, we specify Java C class path. -cp stands for class path. It exactly like whatever we did here, the class path setting, right? In the project structure, how we did that one. It's there in Java training lib, right? So we did the same thing here. It's there in Java training, okay, lib, and it's a log4j.jar. Java C class path -cp Java training lib, and all actually we need to give. And here you need to give like what class actually you are compiling it. In addition to that, actually what we are giving the destination directory as let's say Maybe I can give target. This is my target direct. Oh, target is already there. Okay, I will give bin. Bin I have deleted it. Bin I will give it, and here actually it will go there. And what class actually I am trying to execute? src main Java training jar test. This is what I compile it. So it's compiled it now. There is no issues. It compiled, and if you see it, actually a jar file is generated here. Yeah, sorry, not jar file. A compiled version of this file is generated here. Training jar test and everything. No compilation issues. Now, if you want to run it, right, you need to specify again same thing. If you run this one, right, how you will run this one? Java. You will specify -cp. It's in the bin folder. What you want to run? Training dot jar test my jar test example. Remember, actually, we did these exercises without class file, without though it is class file, we will not use dot class extension to run the Java program. Now, what is happening? It's saying that, see here it is. It's saying that Java class file not found. Right? Class not found. Actually, it is trying to locate log4j file in order to run. When we are compiling, actually, we specified this is the library. When we are running it, actually, still we need that one. So what we need to do, we need to alter our query. So not only bin directory, the class is in the bin directory. That's why I was using the bin directory. Not only bin directory, but also I need to give like a dependency. Dependency is nothing but now in this case log4j. So let's give that one also. Okay, if you have multiple files, right? How you will specify that is in Linux and all environments, you will specify Linux based kernel environment, you will specify colon. In Windows environment, you will specify a separator with semicolon. That's a big difference between two OSs. I am in Mac, it's a Linux kernel, so I am using a colon. So you specify both a bin directory, class path, and also you gave a reference to log4j, like where it can look up log4j classes as well. Yeah, it ran. It ran, but actually it still did not actually log the file, right? I need to give something else also to that one. So that's where actually my log -d parameters will come. -d. I need to specify log4j config, where my log4j config is file colon. It's there in where it is in src main, and then where it is there in the resources, right? Resources log4j dot properties. This much I need to specify it and then run it. Is that configuration? I think. Yeah, it ran it, right? So it ran it. Configuration. It ran it, and if you notice actually what time it is, 11:11, there should be a output. 23:11 is 11:11. So we can see that, okay, the program just ran now. That's how actually you will execute in the server. But actually, isn't it actually a problem? Everybody actually, so let's say actually you didn't you are using like a numerous jar files. In real project, actually, it's not one log4j file. You will be having like at least 50 dependencies. Actually, we'll be using it one for various purposes. Uh, so how do you actually manage those dependencies? If you keep writing them, actually all the dependencies, it may be like a error, or it may have some of no, yeah, issues, actually, like a it may break if somebody actually missing, or even somebody actually missing a wrong version. And you actually today you are using like a 1.2.17 version in the log4j. You specified here, okay, log4j version name is 1 dot what is it, 1.2.17. Okay. Kavya specified this one. And Sabha found that, okay, there is a upgrade to this one. So she updated to, she developed a code by putting in her local, updated an 18 version, and she developed a code. If I want to publish that one, if I want to push that one, right, I need to mention in the release docs also, right? Like, okay, this program, this jar file has to use 18, but she forgot that one. Everybody thought like, okay, it is running in Sabha mission, and let's push that one. And in production, it fails because uh, whatever the program written by Sabha is compatible with a latest version of log4j, but she never she missed that one. So what happens on the production day? Actually, everybody will work and identify that issue. They will roll back, and like all chaos will happen, right? We don't want that one. So our intention is, if it runs in your local, it can run in production as well. It has to run in production as well, or any other environment. That's what actually we want to make sure, right? So how will you do that one? Okay, that's where actually we come with Maven. Maven, ants. Earlier, actually, we have like a ant files. Ant is I know the names will be like a little funny. Um, it's Apache Ant. Okay, it's a Java library command line tool which mission to drive build files and generate the libraries. So it just actually you can use Ant to build and run the libraries. So, all you need to, I mean, we are not covering this one. It's outdated one. Nobody is using Ant in nowadays, actually. But in older days, actually, we were using Ant actually as a build tool. So what you used to do here, actually, we need to specify a build.xml here, a file. In build.xml, actually, this is also like a not why it's failed, actually, because it has also like a many issues. Here, actually, we used to write like all the build, like what to do, all stuff, actually. Step 1, step 2, step 3. Step 1 is actually bring all libraries. Okay. Step 2, compile. So we need to write all this compile Java sources. Now step 3, make jar files. Step 4, run jar files. So all these things, actually, we used to make it in a build.xml file, or build files, actually, and build files. But now it's more advanced now, because this is error prone, because it's still the libraries are actually maybe in one location, right? The location is actually it may be like a in your C drive. Exactly, like bring all libraries means actually it should be there in your drive, like your libraries, how it was there, right? C drive, libs, and MySQL connector. So you need to have this one. So if somebody actually putting a latest version, or downgraded a version, right? It may be running in their local, but when they check in the code and they didn't check in this jar file, what happens? again the problem will happen. The libraries will fail in production, and again you need to revert your code. So it's not actually till I would say like a 2006 2005, actually that range, Ant was so popular because Maven was not uh, Maven still upcoming that time. So till that time actually maybe it is good. Once Maven started, right, it's also a Maven. See, Apache, it's also a Apache project. Maven is also a Apache project. Uh, so it's actually came like a project object model. So everything actually comes up with a as a POM file. Whatever you are defining that, right? They came up with a central repository called, see, Maven Central Repository. Instead of actually specifying your libraries like this in the library, we specify the libraries in a central repository. Like repository, what you say is uh, like okay, let's say actually you are going to a trip. Okay, what do? You take all pictures, right? And then you ask them actually to create a drive and put them all in the drive, right? Why you do that one? Okay, because all, if you share individually, your files may miss, and people may not selectively, you may miss actually good photos to share to others. So what you do actually, either you will do like a photo sharing drives or Facebook or any other channels, right? You all will upload the photos there, and whoever wants actually they will take it, isn't it? No, answer me. You all go to a marriage, you all have you all attend some function. So you will ask like, okay, upload all the photos in a drive, and you will pick whatever you want, right? So same way here also, anybody can contribute to the Maven Central Repository. And most of companies the libraries, right, they will contribute to Maven Central Repository because they can download whenever they want it. It's like a, they can place it, and whoever is interested actually, if you place like 100 photos, and I look good only 2 photos, okay, I can download only 2 photos and I will use them, right? Similarly here, whoever wants actually, like there may be like plenty, as yesterday I showed you, right, there are plenty of jar files projects actually coming into Maven repository. It's almost like it reached like a 29.8 million as of now. 29.8 million, and it's soon gonna hit 30 million projects in this file. So even AWS, these are all actually AWS files also coming there. Why? Because it's easy to develop it. Once you are keeping it here, anybody wants to connect to your AWS intention is, okay, they want to give a facility how users, Java programmers can connect and use the AWS services. That's why, though it is profit sharing company, they still develop SDKs and put it in the Maven repository, others to use it. Anything actually you can think. Even Google also develops so many projects there. Uh, so if you look, just Google, right? Yeah. See, Java libraries, APIs, GUs. These all actually uh, are there in almost like a 7,000, 6,900 projects actually Google developed, and they are hosted in the uh, Maven repository because they want, whoever they develop that, right, they want like a, somebody need to use them. They create in a way that in intention that somebody has to use them. So that's why actually they develop that one. It's not like a uh, only non-profit or freeware only. Even though if it is profitable, they still need to develop some APIs so that actually they will get more profit out of it. Like how I can say it. Let me think. It's like actually if you go to any restaurant or anything, right? They are giving you some like a uh, salad and all. Actually, maybe they will be giving you like a, somewhat to a extent free. In some restaurants they will charge you. If you ask like onion salad and all, right, they will charge you. In some restaurants actually it's along with food, actually it's free. Why why they are giving free? Just like actually because that's they want to add more taste to the food by giving something free, so that actually they can earn more customers. So similarly, these are also like all the APIs and all. Actually, what they will do, they will put it in a free repositories where others can use to use their proprietary softwares again. Okay, that's what in short actually it is. Um, so I mean, again coming back to here, Maven. Uh, so it's actually um, it's very easy to use it. If it runs in your local, what you will do actually, it's a project object model, right? There will be like a simple XML file, like whatever I told you here, uh, simple XML file. But here, right, you will not specify how to collect all the libraries, how to specify, how to do this one. You may specify to customize that one, but still it is the same file actually it is going to define that one. But the biggest difference comes with these libraries. We will not specify a hard code library here. It will be coming directly to you from the Maven central repository. Or if it is like a more internal, you still have like a JFrog artifactory, this one. So you can upload to here as well. Maybe like let me show you like a public artifactory. Yeah, it's like a licensed one. Uh, is there anything actually? Yeah, it's IBM Artifactory, it seems. To chain GitHub, GitLab. Is there any public Artifactory? Yeah, so I didn't find actually, because a public Artifactory is Maven. That's why they won't go for the licensed one. So you can deploy artifacts here. The jar files again, remember this one. Jar file will be called as a artifactory. The term actually artifactory refers alternatively to a jar file. So it can be deployed here, and you can version them. You can use them internally. So something like, okay, if we are developing, right, if our information is so confidential and I don't want to expose it to others, then what I will do internally, I will have a JFrog artifactory as well, along with the Maven repository. And this JFrog artifactory will have most of the libraries that are internal and both as public repositories. Everything will be, they will be hosting internally. So that's how they will manage it. Okay. Now, how you can use it? Maven. Right? So it's pretty much simple. It's very, very simple actually. The same thing, whatever I did here, right? Uh, so let me delete this one. Let me delete this bin directory. Let me delete this target directory as well. Okay. Build XML also I'm deleting it. Nothing is there. So we are same as the square one. Also, let me delete the library as well. Structure from the structure. I'll delete this library as well. So right now, actually, I'm facing compilation issues because I deleted library. Actually, log4j library is not there. I'm facing compilation issue. Let me delete this one also. Now, simple, right? It's your IDE supports Maven. So all you need to click, right click, add framework support, go to framework support, and choose. There are many things actually. There are two competitions again, Groovy and Maven. Will not Groovy. Uh, okay, Groovy is separate thing. Let's forget about that one. Okay, Groovy is separate one. Gradle and Maven, but we will be using Maven here. Maven. Click on Maven. That's it. It generates a pom.xml in your local directory. And it will be having group ID, artifact ID version. As I said, you right, uh, artifact is nothing but a jar name also. It goes both goes by synonym. So group is like a, it's something like if you look at here, this is what group name is: com.google.gova, com.google.api. It's more, it's gives is the jar name, and this first portion is the group name. So you need to come up with your own idea how you can use it. Generally, right, in any organizations, we'll be using like a com.lm, and this purpose is trading, right? So till that it goes like a uh, group name, and jar test is our project name. Project name will be our jar name. You can also version it like a not a snapshot. Maybe you can give like it's a 1.0 version. And what is the compiler source version you are using? What is the target version you are using? You can, because maybe you can use like instead of 18, maybe you can use 11. Bare minimum is 11 is required for this one. But still, actually, you haven't specified what's the jar file needed, right? Dependencies needed. That's where actually it comes here. Here, you can specify dependencies. Dependencies is a tag, XML. How many of you are familiar with XML? First, I forgot about this one. How many of you know XML?
No, sir. I don't know.
Okay. Okay, good. I will explain, or let me explain XML first. Let me step back and let me explain XML first. So, let's say actually you are in a school or you are in college, you are taking a leave for your sister wedding. What do you do?
Leave letter.
Perfect. That's right. Leave letter. So you will write a leave letter, and mostly it's leave letters are like a little bit formatted, right? It's not like a rocket science. Like you need to think of every time like what is the content and everything. It's like a, there will be a format, right? What is to whom you are addressing? Is it to your class teacher? Is it to your principal? Or is it your HOD? So the format is already specified there, right? So what goes where and all actually it's specified there. You will specify most of the details like what you will specify if you are typing a leave letter, uh, whom you are addressing, whom you are writing. Okay. Next one is you will also take your name. your role ID, okay, your class name, um, anything else you will specify, or dates from and to. Okay, and you will sign it and you will give it to you will sign and you will give it to your teacher. You will submit to your teacher, right? That's what technically most of the people will do it. So think that this is a you as a one entity, your principal or HOD is one entity, and you are exchanging the data. You are exchanging the data, the leave letter, in a prescribed format. Okay, because you know it actually, your principal can read that one. In that one, actually, it may specify that, okay, respected sir, I am attend. My name is so and studying in okay, uh, my sister's marriage is scheduled, uh, and I want to take time off from, let's say it's whatever the dates, right? Anything, and obediently or whatever it is, you will write here, and you will write like a yours, whatever, right? Name here, you will write it and sign it, and you will give it to the teacher. So as soon as actually he sees that one, so here actually he knows that, okay, this is what actually your name, and this is your class name. These are all like a well formatted, like a where he can figure it out, like a because it says that most of the things actually, you might have actually just updated them, and he knows actually easily to figure it out. And maybe he will consider you not like a tardis or anything. Maybe he will consider you as a most like a considerable off, not like a hard off, uh, right? Maybe if any exams are scheduled during that time, maybe he can allow you to rewrite in later days. Depends actually. That's the intention of the leave letter, right? Uh, so this is actually the natural problem. Now coming to the IT problems. If two systems want to talk or exchange some data, how do they exchange the data? Okay. Uh, so let's say uh, you are writing some program. Okay. You are writing. Uh, this is your application. Same thing actually. I'm writing it in. This is principal application. This is principal. This is student. So you need to take data, you need to communicate this data from student to principal. You are writing actually you are writing a application that needs to post data, leave data to principal. So maybe actually what you will do, you can write some methods here. apply vacation or leaves. So here actually we'll specify a method called a student ID class ID class ID from date to date. From date to date and all actually will specify that uh, will specify principal class, and you can apply using here actually will pass your information, right? So here actually you will call that principal p dot apply vacation or leave, and then you will start passing arguments. Your student ID is 1, class ID is 10, from date is 10, 10, 20, 20, and to date is 10, 20, 20, 20. Something, some dates actually, random dates I am giving it. So you will specify like that. So this is the way actually you can call two methods. But this is okay. No issues with this one. But it's not obviously um, it's not right way of representation. It is okay, it works, no doubt. But still what I would say is because if you think that a natural problem, you are writing a letter in a letter format and all, right? So what you will do, all these things, right? You will create a model or DTO. These values are actually clubbed together. uh, it's difficult for you actually to know like what is the first argument, second argument, third argument, fourth argument, what he's asking, all right? So if we can modify as a let's take as a model. Okay, so here actually we'll specify leave request is your uh, DTO or value object. Here you will specify student ID int whatever, right? Int uh, class ID int from date to date, etc. You will specify that one. And instead of actually let me take bold this one. It's a class actually. So instead of all these things, what you will do, you will specify its leave request form. Leave request, and then you will have implementation of that particular class here. And here, okay, you will pass all these things. You will create a leave request object, and then you will just pass yellow here, like a leave request new leave request. And then this LR will pass it to leave request actually will pass it to principal, because you are just packaging all the data in one object and sending it. It's much easier, isn't it? You know, like what request actually you need to send it, what fields actually you need to send it in the leave request. Some of them are optional, some of them are mandatory. You can specify that one. Also, like you can specify uh, but here, okay, so for any questions here?
Sir.
Okay. So, but here the problem is, some of them are mandatory field, some of them are non-mandatory. So let's say actually it may ask you like a parent signature.
Yes.
Maybe it's optional, right? How do you know it actually? Even when you came up with this approach, right? Still, there are some problems. How do you know that actually parent signature is optional, or this person may be completely in a different system, right? This leave request object actually, uh, okay, the principal system is developed in uh, Python, okay, by somebody else. It can happen, right? It's a principal is a different module, and student is a different module. So this is developed in Java. So how you can exchange the data now? This leave request is whatever you created, it's in Java. So how actually it's possible to exchange the data? So to solve this kind of issues, actually, they came up with some data formats. So what it is, XML stands for like a markup language, extensible markup language, okay, where it will be having a defined format, like what you are sending, how you are sending, all these things actually, the defined format will be there. And also you can specify like what are the data types it can support it, and all actually you can specify that one. So how it is? So here what you will do, you will write something like you will give subject
Leave letter.
yeah, something like it's actually in XML, it's a markup language, right? Even HTML is a markup language. So it will be having tags. Tags nothing but angular brackets. Everything comes in the angular brackets.
Angular brackets.
Yeah. So what you can specify, you might, I mean, it's not like you will specify it. What you might specify it, you will write a leave request, and for every
By
open
leave.
tag, right? Yeah. So there will be like a close tag as well. So this is what actually open. And if you specify the slash, right, it's also a programming kind of stuff. You can think like slash, this is what actually open, and this is what actually close. Everything else need to be same thing, but only a backward slash will make that actually, okay, this data is closed here. A leave request is closed. Within leave request, actually, you can have like a multiple, you can combine the data within that one. So maybe you can specify, okay, it's student ID, student
Sir,
ID,
I have a
and then,
one doubt.
yeah,
The HTML tags and XML tags are both are same. We can use both.
no, no,
No.
no. HTML is also a hypertext markup language. It's also a markup language. But actually, uh, it's both are different. HTML has actually predefined tag names. It's
Yes.
also XML, but actually it comes up with a predefined formats, like what needs to be there, um, and how actually it can render in the browser. But whereas in XML, it does not have any predefined formats, uh, predefined tag names. You can give anything
Okay.
whatever you want. And
Okay.
this is purely for data exchange. XML is purely for the data exchange. The purpose of that one is data exchange.
Okay. Whichever
And
way I
whereas,
want to create one tag, if I can create in XML only.
Sorry, come again.
సార్ నేను ఇప్పుడు ఏదైనా ట్యాగ్ క్రియేట్ చేయాలి అనుకుంటే అది XML లో పాసిబుల్ అవుతుంది కానీ HTML లో పాసిబుల్ అవ్వదు అంటున్నారు కదా, బికాస్ HTML
Yeah,
has the
your own custom
default
tags.
tags. Yeah.
Yeah, HTML, it's everything is like there are only like a handful of tag names. Like we have HTML, body tag, head tag, um, all these
Syntax.
things, right?
Yeah, table.
Yeah. So yeah, if you look into this one, right? Anything, this also, right? This is HTML page, right? If you look, go inspect, or not even inspect, even look into page source. This is HTML. This is also like a XML, but every opening tag, right, will be having a end tag here.
Yeah, right.
HTML, right? Yeah. See, this is end tag here. This is ended.
Okay.
Okay. HTML from it was there in the line number 1, right? It ended in the line number 130. But look at this one. It's actually, this is like an open tag, and here it is close tag.
Close tag.
Close tag has a backward slash. So same thing actually, again, head, right? This is a open tag head here. The close tag actually can find out where it is closing. Yeah, here it is closing. Same thing, body tag actually it opened here without with angular bracket and then followed by a name, right? That's called a tag. And with angular bracket slash closing, right, this name, that's called like closing tag. So somewhere actually body, right?
Yes, sir,
it
I
closed on
understand.
15. But in HTML, all these tag names are predefined
Yes.
because these can understood by your browser. Not like here, actually, I'm writing like a leave request or student ID, right? This browser doesn't even know like what it is. Okay, I think you are clarified now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what you will do, actually, you will specify a tag, and within the tag, right, here, for example, student ID, you want to pass it, student ID. And within these two tags, opening tag and ending tag, you will pass the values. This is actually like a simple representation. This portion is called a simple representation, whereas actually it combines everything, right? That's called like a complex or combined representation. Now actually what I will do, I will write one more tag, class ID. Class ID is 1, and then I'm closing it. And here also, what is it? From date, from date to date. So these all things actually I can specify in the XML format, and then I can post it, this XML, right? I can post it to principal. It does not matter. Like now, though actually you are in two different systems, it can still read the way how you create XML, right? Python also will work on how to read XML and parse the data. So how it parses is, okay, what is student ID? So it will take, okay, between these two tags, right? It's a simple data type. Okay, it's simple type, simple line type. So it will use that, okay, student ID is 1. It will go and put it like if it creating the object, it will go and put like a 1 here. Same thing, like a class ID between two tags, actually I found a value 1. So let's take like a class ID 1. So from date to date and all, actually it will pass it. And parent signature is nothing, so it will put null. And then it starts, doing the actual business. This is called like a parsing. Parsing XML means reading the data from XML. So that's where actually XML will be useful. So this is XML, but you may ask me like a this is XML. Now actually you may ask me, how does it really solve the problem? Suppose you may pass like a instead of leave request, this guy uh, is Python actually expecting the first element. We call like all these nodes, okay? Because it's a tree structure, right? So we call like everything in a node. So the first node, maybe he is not sending uh, leave request, he is sending my request. And yeah, it's well formatted only. Okay, he sent like a my request, but principal is expecting the first XML root element, right, as a leave request. It will fail, right? The two communication, they are not able to communicate. Student is sending in a different format and principal is expecting a different format. It's not solved that, right? That's where the contract will come. Whenever you go with the data exchange, right? First you define contract. So contract comes up with a schema. This schema, right? You can take like this is schema or XSD. XSD stands for XML schema definition. XML schema, right? XSD. XML schema definition. So this is also a one format of XML, which is written in XML itself. So likewise, XM, this is schema, right? We'll define schema and we'll define actually what is element type. For example, actually, if I want to write the same thing, right? So what I will do, this is just version and all, right? So I will take here, right? Let me rewrite this one. So it will be easy. So I will write XSM element name equals to leave request. That's my first element. Close. And this is actually, as I tell, right, complex type, right? Complex type means I'm have not having the simple one type only. I'm combining multiple elements here. Complex type. What sequence I want it? Is sequence really matter or sequence does not matter? Is it's also you can define that. Or so I can define here xs colon sequence. Here I can define now it's simple type, right? So everything is simple types. It's not complex. I don't need to specify complex type here. Everything else is actually simple type. So xs element type equals to what it is, int, right? I'll specify it is int data type. We have actually defined data types as well. Okay, xs colon int, and then name equals to student ID. So likewise, actually, I can specify student ID, class ID, from date. When it comes to from date, this is a date. This is also a date, to date. Parent signature. This is a string. Okay, so this also you can specify like a, is it mandatory? What is that optional value? Required equals to true or something actually. Yeah. Where is that? Yeah, minimum occurs 0, maximum occurs 1. That means it can occur. What I can specify that okay, this is minimum occurs can be 0. That means actually it can present, it cannot present. You can also specify that one. Minimum this signature may not require all the time. So min occurs equals to 0. That means actually uh, the occurrence of this one, this tag, okay, can be 0 also. So even if I don't have that value, ignore that one. Now they both actually exchange a contract. Okay, you send me in this format. You send me in this format. Okay, I will take care of yeah, that's all I can fit it, I think. So what they will do, they will talk, they will first actually, whenever they're establishing it, okay, they're developing it, right? It's also like your XML or interface contract. They will tell that, okay, this is my data. Send me this format of data. This is my contract. XSD is as schema is a contract. So they both exchange, right? Okay. And then they will start developing accordingly. So if it not compliance against this one, right? The validation itself will fail. So the very first step, what they will do is validate against the schema. Whenever you are sending this one, right? Here, this guy will check is valid request. Okay, and then he will use the schema and this XML. They both compile against this one. What compile means? Okay, leave request is there in this one. No, not valid request. Throw exception back to him. Okay, now actually let's say leave request is there. Leave request is there. But here actually my request is there. Where is my closing tag? Is there closing tag for this one? No, I didn't find. So throw back. Okay, now second thing is, okay, now actually, okay, let's say leave request is there. Positive case, right? Okay, leave request, I found it. Okay, within leave request, they extract this one now. Okay, in a sequence, okay, student ID is the first one. Okay, student ID, I found it. Is closing tag is available. Okay, student ID, I found it. Next, actually, class ID. Class ID, okay, opening tag I found, closing tag I found. Okay, the element value is integer type. Okay, passed. From date. Yeah, it's a date value. Yes, to date, it's a date value. Parent signature. Oh, here it's coming empty. Okay, minimum occurs is 0. So even though value is not required, I will just pass it. So validation is successful. And then they will jump on to actually processing the data, like how your leave request goes and all. Okay. Any questions on this one, XML?
No, sir.
Okay. I think we probably will stop here. Uh, so it's more like a you don't need to learn exactly like what is XML, but at least think that actually XML is something like it's XML is gone nowadays. It's become legacy. That's why I'm telling that XML still you need to have
We
an
use
understandable.
XML.
Yeah. Dakshin, you were saying so?
They are you said like that these are legacy, but we can use XML tags for adding the dependencies, right? For
Correct. That's why I'm telling that.
adding, yeah.
Yeah, in terms of data exchanging area, XML become legacy, but still it is valid in many areas. It's not actually it's I mean, to give you like a high level idea, now data exchange formats have been XML to JSON, JSON to YAML, and still actually it's coming up lot many things. Um, all right. So yeah, these three actually we will be learning anyway. XML is what actually this one, but we will not have exclusive classes on this one. I don't want to invest more time on this one because this will go anyway. These are simple types. You will learn as much as you are working on them. It's simple, right? All these things actually you need to know. Okay, whether closing tag or opening tag, and what is the value between them. That's what XML is.
Yes.
Okay, and anyway, you will not work on the schemas nowadays. Very rare cases you will work, and that's anyway out of our syllabus.
Okay.
Okay, we'll stop here, and yeah, if any questions or anything, you can ping me. I will respond to them. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then. Thank you very much for today, and keep practicing as much as possible.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Mhm. Bye.